Hello, welcome to the live stream. I'm like just a touch late because I realized I probably should have brushed my hair before the stream started. My hair just it's like the super like straight hair that gets like tangled really easily no matter what you do for it. I used to have like a detangler spray that I used, that my mom would let me use because it like was like all natural. I think it was from a brand called California Baby, which I'm pretty sure doesn't exist. I think might still exist. Um, but I haven't had that detangler spray in a long time. And so my hair is, as my mom calls it, the rat's nest. So it's constantly tangled, especially in the back. So when I pull my hair forward like this for like streams and videos, it's just like all the tangledness becomes apparent. So yeah, oh, I just found another big knot. So I'm doing that. I already posted my latest chapter of my Winx Club fan fiction. I'm actually on top of that this week. And so yeah, it's linked below if you want to check it out. Speaking of fan fiction, next week it's not going to be the usual kind of like worky talky stream. I'm actually going to be reading fan fiction live on stream because next week actually is Lunar New Year. I don't adhere to all of the traditions of Lunar New Year, but I do try to like work-wise take it easy on Lunar New Year. But I still want to stream at the same usual time I do. So instead of like a work stream next week, I am doing like a live fan fiction reading stream. And I'll just be reading any fan fictions you want me to read. So if you have any suggestions of fan fictions you would like me to read next week. Oh, hi, Keela. Hey, just joined. Hello. How are you doing this week? So yeah, I was just making announcements that like next week is going to be a live fan fiction reading instead of the regular work stream because kind of want to take it easy because next Friday is Lunar New Year. I mean, I'm not really like doing anything for Lunar New Year, unfortunately. Like it's usually like our big family gathering is Lunar New Year, but obviously that can happen this year. So yeah, I'm not doing anything, but I want to do something like instead of just like the usual work stream I do, I want to do something fun. So yeah, if you have any fan fictions you would like me to read, on next week's stream, let me know. Because otherwise, I'm probably just going to be reading a Winx Club Evolved, which is my fan fiction. So you don't want to have to listen to my fan fiction. Let me know what fan fiction you'd like me to read next week. I'm good. You? I'm okay. I'm okay. I my last writing Wednesday was like about my sort of struggling mental health right now. I'm not sure exactly if I would recommend that video because I know Keela, you're like 16. Well, okay, that's already pretty mature enough to understand like the things I talked about in that writing Wednesday. I'm still like conflicted about whether or not I should age restrict to that video because I do talk about some like pretty sensitive things in that video. It's kind of like the reception to that writing Wednesday has been pretty sweet, but it has pretty much just been from my kind of like core audience, the people who like really tend to comment on things a lot. So I don't know. I'm still kind of going back and forth on that one. But yeah, generally I'm doing okay. I just kind of had lunch and my belly is still feeling kind of full. So I like laid down for a few minutes before the stream. And so and I checked my clock. I was like, oh, nope, gotta go stream. And then so I hoisted myself up with my stomach still feeling really full. Hi, Mr. Vladis. Hello. Thank you for joining. Yes, lunch is very good. Mr. Vladis, I announced it at the beginning of the stream, but next week, instead of having the usual work stream, I'm doing a live fan fiction reading and I'm taking suggestions. So if you'd like me to read a particular fan fiction live on stream, do let me know, because otherwise I'm probably just going to be reading my Winx Club fan fiction, Winx Club Evolved, which I feel like I explain the like concepts of the Winx Club cartoon pretty well in that fan fiction. So it's not like you have to have watched the cartoon to understand it. I also kind of like add some of my own lore. I build upon the existing lore of the show. So sometimes like it doesn't even really follow the rules of the show sometimes, or at least it expounds upon the lore of the show in a way that's like never really been touched on in the show. So it's not like the show has said anything one way or another about those kind of things. But yeah, but if I end up reading that on stream, it'll kind of be a litmus test of like how well I actually explain those concepts, because I know not all of my audience is like into Winx Club. I think like I want to say based on like subscriber analytics. Oh, be right back. It's okay, Mr. Vladis. I'll be streaming I think for the usual 2 hours, so you've got plenty of time. But yeah, I based on subscriber analytics, I think about a third of my subscribers come from the Winx Club videos. It might be more at this point, or like it might become more because that my review of Fate the Winx Saga is actually like growing really fast. I honestly like, because it looked like based on my analytics that it was going to do really well for like the first 2 days and then kind of drop off, because then also a lot of these other like bigger kind of like commentary channels started releasing videos on Fate the Winx Saga. So I kind of thought like that would be the death of my Fate the Winx Saga videos, since like all these bigger creators were talking about it now. But no, it's been doing really well. So like, thank you so much, guys. I did not expect my review to do so well, considering like one, how like long it took me to get it up, and then two, like the fact that all these larger creators have made their own Fate the Winx Saga videos. Well, I came from your Winx video, so yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, it's like I said, about like based on analytics, about a third of my subscribers come from the Winx videos. So yeah, it's like Keela, if you came from my Winx videos, Mr. Vladis came before. That's like, yeah, it's like 1/3, more like 1/2. But you count like maybe throw in another random person, we'll see like we'll see the sampling from this live stream. See if the Winx Club people can beat out the non-Winx Club people. But yeah, it'll be interesting next week if I end up reading Winx Club. Well, like I said, if you guys would like me to read something else, I would actually rather prefer you suggest it like right now instead of like the day of, so I can actually read ahead to like get a sense of the story, and also maybe see if it's actually like appropriate to read on stream. Because like fanfiction is fanfiction. So, you know, like some mature themes I'll like forgive. I might actually regret saying that. Because if you've watched my latest Writing Wednesday, you know I've kind of had like a reckoning with the fact that because of all these new people coming in from the Winx Club videos, I've noticed my audience like post the Winx Club videos are starting to skew younger. So I might have to be more strict about like what kind of mature themes I'm allowing, just because I don't really like I know like the people in chat who, I get a general sense of like them and like how old they are, just just based on how you talk in chat. But there are also just kind of like a lot of lurkers who pop in and out of stream, and I don't know. So so I just kind of have to base my assumptions off of my analytics, and what my analytics are telling me is that a suspicious number of people are 18 to 24. Talked about this on my Writing Wednesday, that like, I did this. This YouTube channel was created in 2013, so I would have been about 14. And I definitely said I was 18 when I created my YouTube account. Shh. So like it's not like it's like I'm like, ooh, trying to shame you for lying about your age on your YouTube channel. I did that too, which is why I know that there are probably a lot of other people out there who still do that, So it's not a shaming thing. It's just the fact that there's no way I think now it says like my audience is like 75 to 80% in that very specific age range, and it's just really hard to believe, unfortunately. So yeah, so if you have any fan fictions to suggest to me, I'd rather have you suggest it now so I could read ahead, not just so I can like see if it's a little too mature for my stream, but also just so I can get a sense of the characters. Like you see this a lot in like kind of live readings. You'll like try to just read it through the first time, a line through the first time instinctually, and then you just like, because you haven't read the full sentence yet, you like don't, you like kind of choose the wrong tone, and then you like get to the end of the sentence and then you realize it was meant to be said in a different tone or in like a different way. So Keela, I don't really read fanfics. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Hopefully maybe somebody else will have suggestions. Like I said, if nobody has any suggestions, it's gonna be Winx Club Evolved, which I'm not sure how far I'm gonna get into that, because I'm pretty proud of like the last 10 chapters, because I started writing Winx Club Evolved a long time ago. Oh god, I could look right now when I started posting, but I'm pretty sure I was still in high school when I started writing Winx Club. Oh, stupid. All these ads on fanfiction.net. First published March 20th, 2015. Yes, so I was still in high school. I was a junior in high school. Fanfics, these Christine, hey. Rice Lum, if you don't know, is my sister. So yeah, Christine, if you want me to read anything, because I know you read fan fiction. Christine, have you had anything to eat today? Because you've been in your room all day. I just to let you know, I ate the last of the chicken from Purple Cow, or actually like everything, because Mom had the last of the mozzarella sticks. Yes, follow Christine on TikTok. Yeah, she does like watercolor anime covers, or are they color pencil, or are they mixed medium art? You know I'm not an art person, so I don't know. I just woke up. Okay. All right, fair. So what was I saying? So yeah, Winx Club Evolved, I started writing in high school, and so I'm not like super proud of like, maybe I would say like the first 5 chapters, 1 through 5. Like I've never been good with introductions. Like first chapters, because everybody says like first chapter is the most important chapter, and I always end up fucking up the first chapter in some way. Your comments are laggy. Yeah, that's just a common problem with YouTube. There's always like a 1-minute delay, and then depending on how good your internet is, like it could add on even more lag. So luckily our internet, at least our internet in my room, is pretty decent. So you really only get like the initial 1:15 lag. But yeah, it could be like way worse. And unfortunately, there's just no way of fixing it, which is a pain. But luckily, like the when I did a live stream the day that Fate the Winx Saga came out, there were like a ton of people in chat, and it was really hard to keep up with everything on top of the lag. But you know, like the last 2 streams have been a lot slower, so it's a lot easier to keep up with chat. So there really is like ups and downs to like being smaller versus like being like a huge influencer, social media live streamer, or whatever. Because yeah, I can't, I like watch these larger streamers and the chat just like flies by like nothing. I can't imagine how you keep up with that. So yeah, so I think I rewrote I rewrote like the second chapter up to like the fourth chapter at one point. But the first chapter I think I've left untouched for like what 5 almost 6 years. So yeah, it's not like my best work, unfortunately. What is my best work? I honestly couldn't say. So yeah, unless you guys have something to suggest, Winx Club evolved, and I'm not sure if you were here when I said during the stream, Christine or Rice Slum, but I'm not going to do anything like too mature, just because from my analytics, I know like at least some of my audience is like under the age of 18, and also just because of YouTube's live streaming policies, like I'm not gonna do like read like something super duper insane and crazy. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. And yes, I will be, I would be open to like reading something based off of K-pop, because I know that's like at least that's the fandom you used to be into. Mm. And also, if you tell me now instead of the day of, I could actually look up how to pronounce everybody's name, so I'm not like, oh, I'd piss off the K-pop stans mispronouncing everybody's name. But yeah, this is a work stream. So let me just check up on the stream on the YouTube side, because I've been looking at StreamYard. Alrighty. So I was working on my Winx Club fanfiction earlier. Should I just keep writing that? Where am I in the scene? Ooh, I was at a kind of a weird point at the scene. I'm really awful at like exposition. I don't know what it is about exposition that just causes my brain to freeze up. But I always like, my first thought is always like, how can I deliver this in a way that is not boring? But then you have to think of a way to deliver it that's not boring, and that's really hard. Because you just can't. The thing with like delivering exposition is you can't be lazy. It can't be like brain dump everything. This one character going on a massive like 2-page monologue about, well, especially in the genre I'm writing, which is middle grade. And middle grade is like the kind of the reading level between children's and YA. I read somewhere that like it's categorized as like people between the ages of 8 and 12. And I don't know, like because every kid is like super different when it comes to reading level. Like I started reading really early, and like I was already reading like crazy, weird, obscure, like, because like so my elementary school library had not received a new book in at least 30 years. So the only thing they had in their catalog was like all of these really weird kind of like, I don't know, like not even like fantasy and sci-fi, or what we think of fantasy and sci-fi. It's kind of like these like 1930s to 1950s like adult in terms of reading level, not in terms of maturity level, but like reading level wise, like pretty complicated like stories. And I guess at the time that's like what children were into. And so there was a lot of that in my elementary school library. And like by the time I was like 7 or 8, I was already reading stuff like that, which is pretty insane to think about now. So I don't know how I feel. And then sometimes just like, because there are adults who still read like YA in middle grade. So I don't like the idea of categorizing genres by like age. I think it's more of a matter of like reading level. So yeah, Winx Club Evolved is like I would consider it like middle grade. So it can't be like too. It has to be something that like yeah, like a late elementary school to middle schooler could read. Look, there you go, defining it by age again. But it's got to be at that kind of reading level. So it can't be like a Lord of the because I just saw your comment, a Lord of the Rings level like exposition jump. So yeah, my friend wrote Lord of the Rings fanfic once. It was just her making all the main hot guys fall in love with her. LOL. If fan fiction is anything, it is definitely that. Just having all the main hot guys fall in love with our usually cisgender heterosexual female protagonist. I mean, I say that, but fan fiction has really evolved past that. At least I like to think it does. I do notice that like the most popular fanfics still kind of fall into that kind of stereotypical OC falls in love with such and such attractive character, hijinks ensue. But there is, I think because people are more and more aware of these kind of tropes, there is a lot, I would say there's a lot more variety now compared to when I started writing fan fiction in like 2011. Wow, 10 years, 10 years. I mean, I can't blame her. No, I can't blame her either. Yeah, I still haven't watched the Lord of the Rings movies ever. I gotta get on that. Speaking of things I have watched, don't tell any of my friends, but I've already watched the latest episode of WandaVision. We're supposed to actually watch it together tonight, but I was literally about to go to bed because on the East Coast it releases like here like right at midnight, and I was about to go to bed, and suddenly like a friend of mine who also watches the show and lives here on the East Coast, the West Coast, he like texted me. He's like, "You need to watch the latest episode right now." Like, if you wait until morning, it will almost certainly be spoiled for you. Like, the big twist will almost certainly be spoiled. You need to watch it right now. So I did. I was like, okay, because like he's like, it's not like every episode he's like, oh my god, I just like waited till midnight to watch the latest episode. I've just watched it. Like, he never does this. So I was like, okay, if you're telling me this at like 1 a.m, it must be pretty important. So I did. So don't tell my friends. I won't say anything so they can hopefully they haven't been spoiled on it and they can be surprised. But looking on like YouTube, because I am subscribed to like those like theory, comic book theory kind of channels, or like movie speculation analysis kind of channels, and some of them have been good about not spoiling their analysis in the thumbnail, and some of them haven't. So hopefully my friends have not been spoiled, because I know like they all live on the East Coast, so they would have had to wait until like 3 a.m. for the episode to be released. And like at least one of my friends is working today, so no way are they staying up till 3 a.m. I really wanted to watch it, but I don't have Disney Plus. Yeah, it's out in England, right? Is it like expensive over there? Because it's like really cheap over here. It's really cheap, and then I share my account with a friend of mine, so like we've been splitting the costs basically. So it's like even cheaper for me because I'm sharing the pay with somebody. But yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about WandaVision on my channel, but like WandaVision was coming out at around the exact same time that like Fate the Winx Saga was, and I really could only direct my attention to one thing at a time. WandaVision would fit my kind of like talking about things I've written fan fiction about, because I have actually written Avengers fan fiction. I don't think it's on my chat or not on my account. It was like a chapter I contributed to like one of those. I'm trying to think if people still do this, but like it was like a large collab fan fiction that was like a crossover of Avengers and the Hunger Games, and each author was kind of in charge of like a different character in like the Hunger Games tournament, but they were all Avengers characters. And I wrote the chapter for Wanda Maximoff. So yeah, um, I also have a shirt of Wanda, and then I have the pop figure. Oh God, I can't remember if that's the one I bought myself or if it was a gift from a friend. Um, but yeah, I have it. It's in those boxes back there of stuff. I still haven't unpacked from my college dorm, just because there's no room for it. There's no room for everything anywhere in here, and hence why I must declutter my closet. Although that video still isn't out. Jesus Christ. That video is taking forever. It really is. Um, because it's actually the first video I'm putting all like background music into like the whole thing. Just because it's a longer video, and not I like really wanted to punctuate it with like background music just to make it more interesting basically and make it flow better. Whereas I feel like depending on some of my other videos, depending on what they are, I don't feel like they need background music. Although if this video goes well and gets received well, I might start ending up putting background music into all my videos. I don't know, Keela. It literally says there's only one person here, so it's probably you. So let me know what you think. Okay, what should I do? I actually think I'm gonna keep working on that video. I feel like it depends. No, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Is that it depends. Oof. You know this project is big when like it just took like 3 minutes for for the whole thing to load, and like my computer stuttered for a little bit there. I'm always worried when I load up a big project on Premiere Pro and I'm streaming at the same time if like it's gonna fuck up my stream. Ooh, also a friend is potentially calling me today. So if she ends up calling me during the stream, I honestly might just end the stream early. Example, I like to watch letter videos, because you watch those, you need music. It is so letter videos. What kind of like Kilo? What kind of like letter videos are these? That actually sounds really interesting. It's hi, Seth Griffin. You and Keela's icons look, or profiles pictures look really similar. So I thought that was coming from Keela for a second. So yeah, hello, welcome to the stream. I am just working on a closet declutter video. And I also announced that next week is not going to be a work stream, but it's going to be a live fan fiction reading. So if you have any fan fiction you would like me to read on stream, do let me know ahead of time so I can actually look it up. And also, people, if anybody's watching this on the replay, I'll probably still be taking suggestions into the week. So once the live ends and there's like a comment section, you can suggest fan fiction in the comments. Keela, like people writing and decorating letters, it sounds so boring, but it's really nice. Oh, I've seen that on TikTok, but I haven't seen it on YouTube. Yeah, it sounds really peaceful because I like on YouTube, I watch a lot of like bullet journaling videos, and those are really peaceful. And also, like, I'm not even in school anymore, but I still watch like study content just because I like it. And I, obviously, especially because of the YouTube thing, I still have to be kind of productive on my own schedule. So study content basically still applies to me. I actually do, but it's not finished yet. Hoping to finish it this week. Oh, you're writing your own fan fiction. That's so cool. Tell me what fandom it is, and if you finish it, you can always like comment it in the comment section once the live is over and there is a comic session. So yeah, I'll probably have to. You probably won't if you leave a link for. Actually, not for some reason. I know the reason, but YouTube automatically filters out comments with links in them. So, but it won't like disappear, at least hopefully. Sometimes YouTube makes comments disappear and it's very strange. But it will probably go into like my comments to review section. And so I'll see if I see it's from you, Seth, I will check it out and see. Keela, this kind of thing, oof, it isn't a proper link. Yeah, Keela, I'm almost certain like by default you can't put links in the chat. Like only I can put links in the chat. It's a preventative measure to prevent spam. So yeah, Steph, if you finish your fan fiction, once the stream is over, you can submit your fan fiction in the comment section once there is a comment section, and then you won't see that comment will probably disappear into the ether, but it's really going to go into like my held for review section, hopefully, and I'll hopefully be able to look at it and check it out. Nothing too mature because I know at least a certain portion of my audience is under the age of 18, so we kind of have to generally keep it like PG-13, probably like obviously like the fan fiction everybody thinks of when like we say like live fan fiction reading is probably like either like My Immortal or Masters of the Universe, or what the fan fiction that eventually became 50 Shades of Grey, even like after kind of skirts the line of like family friendly, especially the original fan fiction. The movie is pretty, from what I've heard, is pretty tame compared to the original fan fiction. Although I've never, after was like, I don't know, like, because I already wasn't a fan, like, or like a big fan of One Direction. I don't really like have a problem with them. I'm not like, because I'm not like a hater, but I'm not like a stan either. Just kind of in the middle. But I had no interest in reading after or seeing. I actually, the only reason I knew about Masters of the Universe was because I found it one time on a list of like 10 worst fan fictions ever. And yeah, I got a good kick out of it when I read it when I was like 8 years old, which I probably shouldn't have been reading Master of the Universe at 8 years old. But it was, I don't know, the original, from what I understand, they didn't change a lot in between the fan fiction Masters of the Universe and then the book 50 Shades of Grey. But what they did fix was a lot of like the spelling and grammatical errors, which is fair because I think the author had mostly written her fan fiction on her phone, which is somebody who has written fan fiction on their phone. It's if you got butterfingers like me, it's hard to like type things out on your phone accurately. So I could understand like why all of those grammatical errors were just kind of left in there. But yeah, as an 8-year-old, you see a sentence that's formed kind of weirdly, you get a laugh out of it. Oh, makes sense. Yeah. I am currently auto matching my audio because I can do that now on Premiere Pro. Ha ha ha. I've actually only been doing it on my most recent videos. I think my last 2 or 3 videos have the audio regulated and then the rest don't. I think there were like I posted one that had the audio regulated and then standardized, and then I posted like a Writing Wednesday, I think, that did not have its audio standardized because I was in a rush to get that Writing Wednesday up. Like I was behind, and so I just skipped fixing the audio. So I'm curious if like anybody's watched all of my recent videos can like hear the difference, because I honestly kind of can't. It's an MLP Winx AU. I'm only on episode 1, but I hope to have it and episode 2 up. Cool. That's really cool, Seth. I actually, God, I've watched MLP quite some time ago. I've not watched all of the seasons. So I honestly can't, it's been so long. Honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head like what season I ended on, but I know at the time I watched up to the most recent season. I would recommend Made in Manila if you're into bullet journal and letter writing videos. I think I've actually watched them before. That name sounds familiar. My go-to people are, I'm so basic, Amanda Rach Lee, and then Planning with Kay. Ooh, and then oh god, who's the girl that does the really cool Jenny Journals, I think, is the one who does the really cool watercolors where she like She does watercolor and then she adds in like ganache and some like really, it's really cool. But yeah, I actually have my bullet journal right here. It's actually completely filled, and I kind of used it when quarantine started, or actually, I did use it when quarantine started because I was still in school. But after school ended, I kind of had no reason to use it. Just because like there was just nothing going on in my life to like write about or keep track of at that point. But like it was like perfect timing because I was like I just pretty much just filled up that my bullet journal. Ooh. And yeah, so I kind of like I've stopped bullet journaling in the in like recent months ever since I graduated. I mean, yeah, that's like that's more than half a year at this point. I shouldn't say recent. But yeah, ever since school ended, I haven't been bullet journaling. And my like thing is that when I move to New York, I'm gonna like actually get me a legit bullet journal because this is like the really cheap bullet journal you get for like $20 at Target. Like you can even tell, like the cover is like it's like already starting to deteriorate. Actually, you might not be able to see that on this crappy webcam, but I can see it in real life. So, yeah, the cover is starting to deteriorate, and because yeah, it's just not the most high quality thing. But yeah, hopefully I'll get like a legitimate bullet journal once I'm out on my own in New York, whenever that happens. Yeah. After was trash, and I didn't even see two, but after watching the Kenny JD video, I still didn't see it, but the reactions of the movie were great. Oh, I didn't realize Kenny JD did a video on After. I need to watch that. I love Kenny JD. I actually she a while ago, she had like a not quite collab, but she had like a favorites bundle with ColourPop. And if it wasn't like literally if it wasn't for the fact that I already owned like two or three things in her bundle, like she had the It's My Pleasure palette and I already own the It's My Pleasure palette, like I would have bought it to like support her. So yeah, hopefully she does like another collab soon. Although she hasn't been, she's been mostly focusing on Bad Movie and a Beat and not really doing as much like makeup stuff. But yeah, I love Kenny JD, and now I need to see her video on After because I didn't watch it. I forgot there was a two, and I know that because I know a friend of mine like has actually watched, I think both one and two. Ugh, me and my strapless bra problem. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm currently editing the first part of my closet declutter, and where was I going with this? And I only own like one or two strapless bras, but I have a lot of like tops with like really wide necklines. I'm not sure if it's because they came like that, because that was, in the early 2010s, even like back into the late 2000s, that was kind of the style. And I or it's because I've owned a lot of these shirts for a long time, so over time the neckline has just been stretched out. But yeah, because I the combination of not owning enough strapless bras and having a lot of really wide neck tops, I like often kind of I like going through my closet. It's like, ah, should I really be owning all of these like really wide neck tops when I don't have enough bras to match them? Really random, but has anybody else watched The Crown? Oh, Keela changed your avatar. Cool. I have watched The Crown. If you've watched my NaNoWriMo vlogs, you'll know part of the reason I actually lost NaNoWriMo last November was because I started watching The Crown because the most recent season had come out. And I was depressed and quarantine was getting to me, so I started binge watching The Crown in the middle of NaNoWriMo. And so yeah, I've watched the whole thing. I really love it. I can understand why it like would test some people's patience because especially in the first season, those episodes can get pretty long. But I loved it. Um, and just because I generally have a soft spot for kind of like period piece historical stuff. I'm also a big fan of just British TV in general because I just feel like they have a better standard of television writing compared to American shows. It's also why I kind of fell out of love with Doctor Who because I feel like in the more recent seasons they've tried writing Doctor Who like more like an American show, so it just made it just like every other American show, and so I lost interest. But yeah, I really love The Crown. Keela, have you watched the whole thing? Yeah, I change it so often, it's crazy. Oh, that's cool. I'm so bad about changing my profile picture. I like literally never change it. The profile picture I currently have actually is 4 years old. Yeah, yeah, four, no, 3, almost 4 years old because I took it in March, my freshman year of college. So yeah, I'm so bad about like keeping up with like profile pictures. I just never change them. Basically because I never changed. Like I um I was supposed to get headshots of right before lockdown, and I hadn't had headshots since I was 15 because I could basically get away with using my headshots from when I was 15 because I pretty much look the same except for the fact that I don't have braces anymore. Although I've showed my old headshots to people before and people do say I look different. But I pretty much look the same because I changed my icon for Discord and WhatsApp, and I like my icon staying the same. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, on season 3. Okay. I like blazed through the whole show in kind of one go, so I honestly couldn't tell you what my favorite season was. Maybe 2. 2 is the one that's sticking out to me just off the top of my head right now. But if I really was going to give you like a concrete answer, I'd have to think about it more. Hmm. Can I just ask who likes passion projects? Seth, do you mean like passion projects in general, or are you talking about a show? Because I clearly between YouTube and writing fan fiction, I have a lot of passion projects. Have you watched Bridgerton? I haven't actually watched it, unfortunately. I am actually currently watching Bridgerton. My friends and I were like, forgot. I think one of my friends started watching it first, and so then the other two, me and the other friend, kind of ended up hopping. Actually, if you look in my comment section for my review of Fate the Winx Saga, you'll notice there's somebody who like mentioned, who like kind of compared parts of Fate the Winx Saga to Bridgerton. That's actually my real life friend who who we're currently like watching. I'm not watching Bridgerton with, but we're kind of like watching Bridgerton at the same time and like talking about it. So yeah, I am actually currently watching Bridgerton. And I'm on episode 5 or 6. Oh, you have watched Bridgerton. Okay, so Passion Projects is a TV show. Okay, I did not know this. Let me look it up. It's a YouTube show. That's why, because I was like, I I like just did a general Google search for a show. And I wasn't finding a lot of information. I just looked on YouTube and there's still not a lot of information. Uh, I'm actually getting less information. I'm not finding it on YouTube either. So I think Seth might have been talking about like passion projects in general, at least from the information I could find. Like I don't think it's like a TV show just because nothing is showing up in my kind of search results. Anything I love when fan concepts or original content, like Killer Bean. Yeah, yeah. Fan stuff. I love the creativity of it. I love that like kind of just regular people, not like industry professionals, can kind of just jump in and make something. But in terms of my actual enjoyment, fan content has always been really hit and miss for me. Like I've had several friends over the years try to get me into like abridged shows, and I don't know if just like the comedy isn't for me, or if it's just a little too weird to like have these like characters that were written a specific way and had them voiced a specific way suddenly like they're voiced a different way, and it's usually the direction is totally different from the original kind of directorial intent. And I can understand like why a lot of people would find that funny, but I just can't get into it for some reason. So yeah, it's a you said your friend says it's a YouTube show. I'm not finding anything. Also because YouTube is really not great at promoting their original content weirdly. You think they'd be better at it because it's literally their content? Yeah, I'm on because I'm on the originals page, which should supposedly have everything, but I'm not seeing everything, which is annoying. So it could be here, and I just can't find it. Okay, I'm gonna pick up another song for my background music. I got like a little playlist going on of like all the background music I'm going to use for this video. Because like I said, video is pretty long. Also, the clips from the background music are pretty short. So I kind of want to throw in a good amount of variety. I'm talking about things fan comics with OCs, like one I'm following called Legend of Genji. Not parodies. I don't like those. Okay, like yeah, when I heard you say like fan concepts or original content, I took that like really broadly. Didn't realize you were talking about like something more specific. I have I read fan comics? Because I when I was younger, I used to be more into like manga and on manga manga and anime. Hello, um, uh, and but I'm trying to remember if I ever like got into like fan comics when I was into that. I don't think so, unfortunately. But you're reading a fan comic called Legend of Genji. Oh, that's cool. What's it based off of? Or is the the fandom called Legend, or the original thing called Legend of Genji, and I'm just stupid. Ooh, I've picked a real bang. I'm picking all like Animal Crossing music for my closet declutter, and it's all like kind of stuff that's music that's nostalgic to me, or at least like not, or like stuff that I know from Animal Crossing. Because there's stuff from New Horizons, which is not exactly nostalgic yet because it's been out for like less than a year. But there's stuff from City Folk, which is my first Animal Crossing game, and I would argue City Folk had the best music, but not a lot of people are not a lot of people would agree with me because I just don't think a lot of people have played that game compared to some of the other Animal Crossing games. And but yeah, I love this music. So I definitely make an effort to include music specifically from that game. Avatar: The Last Airbender, you're missing. I've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. How I was like a kid when that came out. I actually remember catching the premiere of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think I just happened to catch it on TV because I was like watching it downstairs at the time. We had our old carpet. It was like an old TV. It wasn't even a flat screen. You're missing out not reading not reading fan comics. I mean, okay. Um yeah, I the problem is just like with everything, it's always so like hard to keep up with everything. Because before I started watching Bridgerton, I was actually trying to catch up on Attack on Titan because that was like one of the few animes that I had watched more recently, but I only watched up to like halfway through season 2. And I know they're like on what, like season 3 or 4 now. So I tried to make the effort to catch up with it. And then of course, because I also think it's also like a lot to do with like how my friend group has changed. Because when my friend group growing up was kind of like typical like Asian nerds or just nerds in general, not just Asians, but like people who were kind of into like anime and manga and kind of like that like fan kind of like the fan content that kind of extends out from that. And and now in college, you know, I majored in drama, so I think that kind of naturally lends itself to a different crowd who might not be into that kind of stuff, or like I don't know, especially where I went to college, like people think that stuff is kind of like weird and weeby. So like trying to keep up with my friends, like I said, because a friend of mine introduced us to like Bridgerton and After and that kind of thing. So it does have a lot to do with like my interests or like the kind of stuff I get pulled towards. It has a lot to do with like how my friend group has changed over the years. Um, yeah, I haven't stopped watching anime completely. It's just a lot less than I used to, unfortunately. I might watch Avatar: The Last Airbender as everyone is watching it. Yes, I would definitely recommend if you like. Honestly, like, because my two friends were watching. One of them has watched Fate: The Winx Saga, and the another one hasn't. And I think they no. Neither of them have. One is no. Okay, neither of them have seen the Winx Club cartoon. One of them has seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. So for the one who hasn't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would definitely be like, yeah, watch Winx Club. Like it's a little bit of product of his time, but the writing for a cartoon, for a children's cartoon, is very decent. But for the person who has watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm like really hesitant to recommend what recommend Winx Club to them, because I think at this point, like for them as an adult to watch a cartoon, it has to be like writing level wise on like the same level as Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I love Winx Club. Winx Club is not on the same writing level as Avatar: The Last Airbender. Very few things are. But yeah, so yeah, if you like Winx Club at all, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, like story writing wise is like times 10. Like, I know how you feel. I'm still trying to catch up on finished anime like Fairy Tail. Oh, I've never watched Fairy Tail. I've like casually kind of sat in on like an episode or two because my for a while my sister, who was in chat a little earlier, was really into Fairy Tail for a long time. So I've like casually gleamed it based on like having my sister watch it, but I've never gotten into it. Like really long animes like Fairy Tail, One Piece, Bleach, those scare the shit out of me. Because I'm very much a completionist. If I start something, I have to finish it. And the idea that like I could possibly like start an anime and never finish it just because it's so huge. Mm-mm. I think it's partially what scared me away from anime for a little bit, just because I have this kind of like completionist nature of like when I start something, I gotta finish it. Like so it's like I gotta start. If I start One Piece, it means I gotta finish it. I gotta watch all the episodes, even like because I'm still also working through Winx Club, like the actual cartoon, and the fact that there are 8 seasons. Ah, no, no. Why am I sitting on the floor? I have so many seats around my house. Sometimes I feel that way too when I'm filming, because when I film my makeup videos, I've filmed them on the floor because um I just get the window is right over here. So instead of when I film here, I kind of get the side lighting, but I don't get like lighting that's preferable for makeup videos, which is kind of like full like lighting that is directly facing direct lighting. Bleh. Um, and and so yeah, so I'm just sitting on the floor like playing with makeup like I'm a kid. And sometimes I'll turn off the camera for a minute. I'll just have to stop myself and be like, what am I doing? Hi Rexon. Welcome to the stream. Why is Fate the Winx Saga old women and not young teenage girls? Ooh. I'm trying to drum up a diplomatic answer to this. So, well, in the original cartoon, depending on which translation you're going with, the Winx girls are either in college or in high school. And honestly, I would have been okay with both. They keep it like college, but it's like European college. So technically, everybody's supposed to be like 16, 17. And this might be me showing my age a little bit, but I bought them as being like 18 to 19-year-olds. I felt it was kind of stretching it, trying to pass them off as 16 and 17-year-olds. However, when you actually look at the ages of the actors, it's pretty it's because nobody's over like 26 in the cast. Because I know the girl who plays Bloom actually is the same age as me. They look like they're 30. Oh no! So wait, do I look like I'm 30? Oh man! I just said Bloom. The girl who plays Bloom and I are the same age. Oh no! But anyway, I understand. I get why, like, for kind of reasons of practicality for filming, for casting. Filming for casting, I can understand why they wouldn't cast actual teenagers, just because Ooh, they were right. Well, wait, they filmed in Ireland. I don't know what the child acting labor laws are in Ireland, but in the US, it's pretty restrictive, like how long you can have children on set for. It also gets pretty expensive because you have to make sure that they're on top of their schoolwork while they're filming. And so I understand why, like, for practicality reasons, it's just cheaper to cast adults. Also, it's unless you get really good child actors. Like, I actually watched We Could Be Heroes recently, and the child actors for the most part were very good in that movie. But not every movie could get child actors so good. So it's just adults are easier to direct. It's cheaper, so I get it from a practical standpoint and on it. And like I've seen worse offenders than Fate the Winx Saga, but I also understand that like they really skirt the line in terms of like how believable they are at teenagers. I also feel like the dialogue really doesn't help them, just because the dialogue is so like, how do you do, fellow kids? Let me just throw in a bunch of like random like current sayings that even though they are actually current, still feel really cringy. Elliot Salt's actually 28. Oh, okay. Well, my apologies for laughing. It's that you're funny, you made me smile. Oh, thank you, Rexon. There's like a lot of movies to watch, but Winx Saga, great, not bad at some points. Yeah, actually, I think in my review, I didn't like rip it to shreds. There's like a lot of problems and there's kind of a lot of weird stuff going on. But if you turn your brain off, like it's a pretty quick 6 episodes. That's like one of the good things about like having a really short mini series for a first season. It's that it didn't like overstay its welcome. It just kind of like told its story, and got out. Yeah, but I do. So I know I'm sure you didn't intend this, Rexon, but I have like in like kind of keeping up with the discourse around Fate the Winx Saga. I feel there's a lot of like weird, either like like bashing them for the whitewashing stuff is for the most part generally warranted. It where it like goes too far is like the Instagram comments that I pulled for that one Winx Club video I did, where like people were like threatening the actress who played Musa. Um and but in terms of like there's like a lot of weird ageism going on in like critiquing the actors, particular not even just particularly the actresses, because I actually feel like the guys in the cast look less believable as teenagers compared to the girls. Like the two guys that aren't from the show, from the cartoon, Dane and Sam. I kept calling him Tom in my in my Fate the Winx Saga review. That shows how memorable he was. But Dane and Sam, I'll buy as teenagers. Riven and Sky? Riven and Sky looked like 1920. I'm not sure what their actual ages are, but I did not buy them being teenagers. Riven, especially, I think that it's that's also a thing with like his dialogue was just fucked. And so also because I was talking with a friend, a IRL friend of mine who also watched the show and who's never seen the cartoon. But we're both actors. We both went to school together in the kind of in the same drama program, and she was actually like going. This was after I posted my review, so I did not mention this at all. Or well, no, I mentioned it, but I didn't go into as much detail as she did, because she like literally like shared screen with me and like went through like certain individual scenes and was like, okay, this is here's a clear point where like the direction, it's clearly the directional problem, because like this actress has like two different emotions going on and she's clearly trying to play both at the same time, so it leads to like a really weird performance. I thought it was really cool. I wish we could have talked about it before I posted my review, so I actually could have given that example, because what she said to say as an actor was really cool. OMG, I'm actually chatting with A real Asian girl. Hey, but I'm not very happy with Winx Saga because it's so dark and gore. Like, Lord, it ruined my childhood cartoon Netflix. Bleh. Rexon, I'm curious. Which version of Winx Club did you grow up with? Because I feel like I'm in the minority here, but I grew up with the Four Kids version, which the Four Kids channel was like this like fringe cable channel from like the early 2000s. So like in retrospect, I understand like why I'm in the minority of like people who discovered Winx Club through the Four Kids version. So yeah, I'm curious as to which version you watched, either like discovered Winx Club through, or which version you watched first. I'm out of water. So I with especially with how like raspy my voice gets because I really have to project for the webcam to pick me up properly. I feel like I really need to like remind myself to like fill up on my water when I run out. So I am going to fill up my water and be right back. No, I fill my water while we're talking. Hello. Oh, I'm still gone. Oh, Rexon, you watched the Four Kids version. Cinelune is the most popular with people my age. Seth, how old are you, if I may ask? Because I do notice that like a lot of people love the Cinelune or the RAI dub. I, I call me crazy, but controversial opinion here. I will forever prefer the voice actors from the Four Kids version compared to the Cinelune dub. And I don't know if it's like a directional thing or if it's just or if it's the writing, because like overall writing, I see why people really like the RAI dub, just because the the RAI dub was more faithful to the original Italian version, and they kind of like imported all of the plot points from the original Italian version more faithfully. Like I started like rewatching the first season of the Four Kids version. Then I remembered the whole like Sky Brandon swap bullshit. And I was like, oh yeah. but I really love the actors from the Four Kids version. I don't know, like their voices are just more diverse, which I do understand. It's not for everybody because it makes it more cartoony. But I don't know, but like everybody from the Cine Luna dub, they just talk like this, and they talk, and just like all of the actors, it's very forward and deliberate, and we've got to stop Dark Heart now. So I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but that's kind of my opinion. Especially as an actor, it's very noticeable, I think. I watched the show on YouTube, so whatever version that is, it's the same version, but I watched it. You watched it on telly. It makes me think of the song from Matilda the musical. All I learned from telly. The bigger the telly, the smarter the man. You can tell from my big telly just how clever of a fella I am. Seth, you're 16. Cool. The TV is great. Unfortunately, my TV exploded because of the thunder. So say it's bullshit, whatever that means. Wait, Rexon, where are you? Where your TV can explode from thunder? Oh my god. Yeah, so Keela, if you've watched, yeah, so that's exactly what like Seth was saying, that like I think the reason why like a lot of younger people kind of prefer the RAI dub is because that's the version that kind of the official Winx Club YouTube channel put on their YouTube channel, and so it's like it's kind of the version that's most readily available. There is like you can watch the full Four Kids version on YouTube, but it's like um because the official Winx Club version only put out I think the first season. Like RAI it's just more accessible. It's also like you can tell like when they put it on, when the official Winx Club channel put it on the RAI version on YouTube, you can tell they cleaned up the animation. They basically almost remastered it for YouTube, because a lot of the Four Kids episodes were clearly kind of just ripped from like their television versions, and it wasn't like cleaned up or remastered at all. So yeah, I can understand why people would be more inclined towards the RAI version if that's what they grew up with. Avatar Roku, hola. I love it. Your name is Avatar Roku, but you've got a profile picture of Stormy. Yeah, so it's like intersection of two things I love: Avatar and Winx Club. Mm. For the people who just joined, next week is not going to be a regular writing stream or working stream. Next week is going to be a live fanfiction reading, and I am taking requests. So if anybody would like to request any kind of fanfiction they like to read, keep it generally kind of family friendly, do let me know either in chat, or if you're watching on the replay, in the comment section, or if you just like, you think of one later after the stream has already ended. If nobody suggests anything, I will be reading my Winx Club fanfiction, Winx Club Evolved. So if you don't want to be subjected to some of my early writing from 2015, I mean, like I said, later chapters were written like now, obviously, because this live stream is the release of chapter 21, which I forgot to post the links to my live stream to my fanfictions accounts. I always forget. I've been forgetting to do that. Best of both worlds for sure. I feel so chill. I got my cup of tea, snuggled up on your chatting on your live stream. Life is gone. I'm glad you're all comfortable, Keela. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Fun fact, Stormy is the oldest of the Tricks, and twice she refers to I see the leader as little sister. I feel stuff because I remember, yeah, it's like the Tricks are all like sisters. I almost feel like that might be a thing that's like true in one of the versions but not true in the others, because like this is I always get into trouble trying to remember the continuity differences between Nick RAI and 4Kids, because at least because I like I said I've been trying to work through all of Winx Club. I feel like in the later seasons, like they never mention Icy Darcy and Stormy being sisters, or they'll like refer to them like not like as blood sisters, but like just kind of like witch sisters. And so I'm trying to remember, and I'll try to look at the wiki, but probably the wiki won't tell me. If I knew, if I was more knowledgeable about like editing wikis, I'd probably start contributing to the Winx Club wiki, because there's just so many things in there that I wish they had, but they don't. And normally when it's like something they don't have, if I see there's like something I want but they don't have, I'll just add it myself. But I editing wikis intimidates me. I always thought Stormy would have been younger, since she has a bit more juvenile traits than the others. Yeah, you would think like, because like Stormy's kind of the goofy one out of everybody. They would kind of go like in order of age, like Icy, Darcy, and Stormy. Because like Darcy definitely gives me like she just sort of gives me like chaotic middle sibling vibes, because she's like very kind of mischievous, but also like she loves to just kind of mislead people, misdirect people. She's kind of like Beatrix in Fate the Winx Saga. According to Winx lore, they're cousins, and each relates directly to the ancient witches. Yeah, because they're like basically the modern replacements almost of like the ancestral witches. That might be the RAI canon, because I know for a fact the Winx Club wiki follows the RAI canon. Oh yeah, of course I'm African, although it's night here. I'm like a big talker and never stop talking about anime and all sorts of things. I hope people are nice at your live stream. Yeah. It's great. Like when you say African, so like you're at like in Africa, or like in the wider kind of like African diaspora. Like I think that includes the Caribbean, Madagascar, or is Madagascar part of considered part of Africa? I don't know. And yeah, people have been very nice on my live streams. I know for my first live stream, I had on slow mode just because I was worried about like like bots or spammers or weird people. But I I generally kept it off for most of my streams, just because I like, as I got a better feel of my audience. I just realized I don't, at least as of right now, I don't really need it, thankfully. Yeah, because I've never like, I don't think I've even had to ever like ban anybody from chat. That's how. Yeah, so we've got a pretty good crowd going on, luckily. Yeah, and I don't have any. Actually, I don't even have any moderators in chat, just because I'm small enough where I don't really need it. Can I quickly mention Return to Me? That song was so good and sad. I am drawing a blank here. That name sounds familiar. Oh, it's a Winx song. Let me quickly listen to that because I can't think of it off the top of my head. Avatar Roku. Oh my god, I know, right? Okay, I remember this. As the tide goes in and out, close my eyes. Turn to me, turn to me. Yeah, this is a good song. If my voice was less hoarse, I could probably sing along properly, but I'm already kind of starting to strain a little bit. The bottom center, in South Africa. Cool. Musa's entire familial storyline with her mother passing was so well done. Yeah, I agree. I wish actually they would explore that more. Generally speaking, with all of the girls, but like, I feel like, especially with like how complex Musa as a character is, I feel like for the attention she demands in the cartoon, it's in the later season, she often gets kind of sidelined. And I want to see more of Melody. I included a clip of it in one of my Winx Club videos, and like just like looking at that clip, it's like, oh, this is like a planet I'd like really love to like spend more time in. Just because just off of the like initial like the few snapshots you really see of the planet, it like looks really cool. I'm actually gonna add this song to I have like a Winx Club playlist going on for when I write my fan fiction, so I'm gonna add this. I can make you saw the world you are always here. Yeah, it's a good song. We definitely need to see more of their home planets. I agree. Have we ever even seen Techna's planet? I could have sworn we've maybe seen it in like a comic, but never on the actual show. I could be wrong though, because like I said, I haven't caught up all the way up to the current season yet. The 3D version of Winx weirds me to the core. It is a little jarring in my opinion. Was it called Quest for Sirenix or whatever the Sirenix 3D version was? That looked okay to me. But yeah, it's like it's the problem where like something that was originally drawn for 2D gets converted to 3D, and it's just like they're still trying to keep the essence of the 2D design, so it just looks kind of funky. If I could think of like a a movie series that did like kind of that same style of 3D really well is the, and honestly what I think the 3D Winx Club is trying to imitate is the 3D like Barbie movies. Those do 3D really well. And like all some of the leg animations a little weird, but other than that, I think it does a pretty good job. And yeah. Winx Club in comparison, yeah, the 3D looks kind of off. We've seen it once, but I think season 6. Okay, because I'm actually currently watching season 6. So Lamau, those movies have really aged. Hey, Christine. Yeah, they have. They have. Like, I've actually seen one or two commentary channels who are like dedicated to like early aughts nostalgia talk about those, and they talk about those really like reverently. But you go back and watch some of them. Like I think because Rice Lum is, for those who don't know, in chat is my sister. We have some of the old 3D Barbie movies, like either on DVD or possibly on VHS. That's really dating me. Um, and yeah, like the Pegasus one, like some of the faces looked really weird. I remember that one specifically. Some of like the villains, they're supposed to look kind of ugly looking, but they look dude. I think the 3D was done well. Not that's perfect, but it's okay. In retrospect, the 3D was kind of weird. Like I said, some of it I liked. Like the Cyrenix 3D, I think looked okay. It's just it's the eyes. I think the eye, like when you convert to 3D, having really big eyes makes the kind of like facial structure look off. Whereas in 2D, you can get away with that a little bit more. So I think like the eyes. Yeah, just in 3D because you're not dealing with kind of a flat face. You're kind of dealing with like a round spherical shape. The proportions have to be different. I watched the nostalgia, yes. We watched the Rapunzel and 12 Dancing Princesses again recently. Oh, I have both of those. I think you mean Monster High. It had 2D web series and 3. No. I'm talking about in the early 2000s. Barbie had like these like 3D movies that were like straight to DVD. And then for Winx Club, like there was a I could look this up right now because there was, I swear to God, there was like a separate movie that dealt with Cyrenix, and then also in the cartoon itself there were like section. It was like the Mythics because I that's what I think of right away because I'm like I said, I'm watching season 6 right now. The Mythics dimension where it's like part of the show is in 2D and then they when they like go to a kind of a different place, it turns into 3D. Mystery of the Abyss, that is what I'm thinking of. When I was younger, I obviously noticed, but the Mythics 3D was a hot fucking mess. I'm currently I literally just watched the episode where they go to the Mythics dimension for the first time. And yeah, I like watched it and I was like, oh no. Oh no. It reminds me of Code Lyoko, which was another TV show that where like they from the beginning they had the idea that like the sort of like the real world was in 2D, but when they would go into like the Lyoko computer program, it was in 3D. So they kind of like designed the characters from the jump that with the idea that they would be in both 2D and 3D. So I think they were able to work out the proportions a little bit better. Whereas Winx Club, it was like however many seasons of just 2D, and then suddenly they want to put them in 3D because that's like the hot new thing, and that's what kids are watching now, at least according to 50-year-old executives. I literally watched them so much. I noticed all the films are the same characters, just slightly different plots. Yeah. I know a lot of other kind of like commentators talk about specifically Princess and the Pauper and like how the music in that movie was really good. And I tend to agree as someone who likes musicals and minored in musical theater. Especially the one, like I think it's the duet. It's like, you're always free to believe when you find your place where your heart belongs. Like that one. I'm pretty sure that's from Princess of the Pauper. And I was like slightly too high on that, but oh well. Mythics is hideous. The makeup looks like they smeared it on their faces. The wings are abstract and the dresses are the same. Hmm. Who's dead? Princess of the Pauper had 2 Kens, but one had more vitamin D. Oh my god. Yeah, going back to the Seth, your Mythics comment. I haven't, like I said, I only just watched the episode where they introduced Mythics. So I haven't really had enough time to like look at their outfits and like have an opinion on it. Because I know originally, when I watched the first episode of Harmonix, I didn't like Harmonix at first, and then Harmonix kind of grew on me as that season went on. So I don't really I haven't watched enough of Mythics to really have an opinion on it yet. Oh man. Oh, Rise Low, see that comment still gets to me. Let me grab this song and put it into my video. Sometimes in Animal Crossing New Horizons, this is like one of like the radio songs. And so the sometimes, especially because both me and my sister, because we both have our own separate islands, will play this song in in different parts of our island, and we'll hear like our villagers singing it. Now I have like the little nonsense vowels they use to sing the song, because they always use the same ones every time. I like have them memorized because I've heard it so much. The only good sub transformation in Winx after Nick took over is Tynix. Mythics was just yikes. I haven't gotten to Tynix, although I already know I like the Tynix song. I just like happened to hear it as I was looking into Winx music for my playlist, and I like found the Tynix song, and I was like, oh, I like this. So I have it in my playlist, but I have not like seen the transformation in full yet. The harmonic song, the Sirenic song are the best transformation songs. Yes, I think they're really good. Did I say they're the best transformation songs? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll always have a special place in my heart for the 4Kids theme, even though I know, logically speaking, it's so stupid. It's like one of those like early 2000s roll call songs where like they list off the different powers of everybody. But and like the transformation, like variation of that song is literally just "We are the Winx, we are the Winx Club." But that'll always have a special place in my heart. So I don't know if I could pick like my favorite transformation song without having some kind of like nostalgic bias, unfortunately. But I do agree the harmonic song, the harmonic song are both good. And they're actually both in my playlist. I don't get it. Why is it that the Winx Club changed their voice actors like a lot? I really liked the voices of season 5 and 6. Yeah, that's a good question. I honestly couldn't tell you. I usually the justification for like changing voice actors has to do with like the changing of like style, or it's because, and this doesn't apply to Winx Club at all, or if it's because they actually do have children voicing the roles and then get swapped out. They get swapped out once they age out of the voices, but that doesn't apply to Winx Club at all because they've been adults for like for like 6 seasons already. The Way Harmonics is one of my least favorite transformation songs. Enchantix Supremacy. Both Avatar, Roku, and Seth are saying Enchantix altogether is the best. Ah, see, this is what I said earlier about like nostalgia clouding my judgment because I never actually heard the original Enchantix song until much later because, like I said, I grew up with the 4Kids version. So instead of getting the actual Enchantix song, we got this kind of like, it's not a pop song. It's like this like or semi orchestral with like vocal with like a choral vocal of just as a transformation song was just like this um and yeah, so I didn't end up hearing the Enchantic song until much later, but um how does the Enchantix, this is bad. I'm trying to recall how the Enchantis, da, 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 da. I raise my energy. Finally, I'll become a real fairy. But yeah, that's Enchantix. Yeah, yeah. Um, that's decent. It's a decent song. Um, it's a thing I have with some of the thing I just can't like get past. Unfortunately, with some of the earlier season songs, it's like you could clearly tell that the like melodies were written with the Italian lyrics in mind, and so they just had to smush the English lyrics in there so awkwardly. I think it still kind of shows a little bit in the later seasons. I think they've definitely gotten a lot better as the seasons go on because I think there's more foresight for the fact that there's going to be both an Italian and an English version. But yeah, I remember one of the reasons I could never get into the RAI version is because that season 1 song, man. Oh, the English, whatever the Italian version of English is. You can decide if you become one of our bunch. Like, oh, like I'll give it to the like the Italian because it's the Italian artists who sing the English versions. I have to really give it to them because like singing a song in like a really unfamiliar language is just so hard, and you could tell they're really trying. But it's just, oh, as a native English speaker, it's so apparent in some of those earlier seasons. But yeah, for sure, the 4Kids Enchanting song was just an instrumental. Yep, yep. I actually had forgotten that for a little bit until I rewatched the Enchantix season, which is probably it's uh Enchantix. I'm so basic. Enchantix is probably my favorite transformation, just because of the way they earn it and how it's like so emotionally impactful how they earn it. That was that Enchanting song was made for the movie. Okay. Post the one they used in season 3 was different. Okay. I can't think of that song, unfortunately. Um yeah, when I think of Enchanting song, I think of that one. Here, let me actually look up the Enchanted song real quick. See what I'm missing out on. Not how you spell Enchanted. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Does yellow, purple, and a little red look good together? Depends. I think it depends. Because I think if like depending on because it depends on like the saturation. Like if like the purple was too deep and like you tried to pair that with like a bright yellow, then that'd be kind of weird. And um, but yeah, but if like because I know you're asking this because of your art. I know because you use mixed medium, it's not going to be too saturated. So I think you'll be fine. Cosmic's power, but unfortunately, its transformation sequences are broke, not perfect. But the song is luminous. Cosmic's power. That's from the most recent season, right? Because that's the one. That's the one everybody complains about all the time. Yeah, I don't have an opinion on that because um, I'm not there yet. I'm still on season 6. But I've seen pictures of the Cosmic's transformation. I can't get over that new art style. I don't like it. Even for like a kitty, like for the fact that even for the fact that they're like kind of aging down the show, I still don't like it. I hopefully at least they've changed the art style. Hopefully, just it means they get better quality dolls. So I think that's part of the reason why I've never owned any Winx Club dolls. It's because they're dolls. At least the ones they sold in the U.S. were have always been really low quality. And I think it's also partially the fact that they're trying to match the art style, but the art style, unfortunately, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to lend itself to dolls, even though literally the show was created to sell dolls. I like the movie version too. It fits for the girly, magical girl aesthetic of the original. Is really majestic and powerful. I go back and forth for the original Enchanted song. Um, and I can't articulate why off the top of my head. Damn. But I don't know. I've already like it's probably a me thing. I've never been a fan of like songs that just like use a couple of words and repeat a couple of words and just keep repeating those couple of words. I think that's why I prefer the movie version. Is the first one I thought of because I do like the beat of the original Enchanted song, like that like build up, that like chord build, that the Enchantix, enchant. Like I like that, but I think that my problem with the song is with the lyrics or the lack of lyrics, I guess. For anyone who's going to watch my closet declutter, which I'm currently editing, um, 18 minutes in, I like basically call myself out for having a basic bitch closet. So if you find that funny, look forward to that. Off topic, Ever After High, that was really well written for web series. Yes, actually, I 100% agree. I love Ever After High. Like, and that series, that like web series came out when I was like already an adult, and I just like stumbled upon it because um I think it got recommended to me after watching like a nostalgic like Bratz video. And so I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And I watched it and I just got like sucked in and I like binged the whole thing. Actually, speaking of that, uh, my even though like my Winx Club fan fiction, obviously it's Winx Club, so like it's in the lore of Winx Club, but the actual plot is based off of Ever After, more after Ever After High than actual like Winx Club plots. Just because I think that that web series was so good. Honestly, I like it enough to the point where I'm kind of tempted to try to pick up some of the books. You know, the Ever After High theme song, yes. That everything was waiting for you. Everything was set in stone. Yeah, that's a really good. It's a really good theme song. Yeah, the new art style is terrible. They turned them into children. Rainbow, what on what Rainbow, what on earth is wrong with you? Um, I mean I haven't looked at it too in depth. I've seen, like I said, I've seen screenshots of the most recent season, but I actually haven't started watching it yet. So I don't know, like maybe the backgrounds are pretty. But yeah, I am not a fan of the new art style. I mean, at least they're still colorful. I, yeah. No matter what happens with like current Winx Club or even with like Fate the Winx Saga, because I know there's a couple people in my comments who have mentioned it's already been confirmed for season 2. I never put too much stock into that because especially like with shows that like are only recently released or like with Fate the Winx Saga, like even before season 1 released, they said, "Oh, there's going to be a season 2." It's less like a guarantee that there's going to be a season 2 and more sort of like a kind of like marketing tactic to try to like get people invested in the show with the idea that there will be a continuation of the show. Although I mean, with how successful it's been, I wouldn't be surprised if it got a season 2. But anyway, got to the original point. Like, no matter what happens with Winx Club or Fate the Winx Saga, like I'll still have the old seasons to enjoy. So even if like shit really goes downhill, it's not gonna destroy my enjoyment or like what originally drew me to the earlier parts of the show. Has anyone seen The Emperor's New Groove? Criminally underrated movie. I watched it when I was really young. Um, did we have it on VH? I think we had it on VHS. So yeah, it's a good movie. I wonder if it's on Disney Plus. It probably is. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. And then it had like a cartoon that was kind of dumb. It was called The Emperor's New School. I'm really dating myself here. But yeah, there was a Disney Channel cartoon for a while. Not a fan of the new art style at all, and I wish they'd just let them grow up. Yeah. I think that's a problem. They keep trying to like find like I don't mind that they try to find ways to have them continue returning to Althea. But the fact that like it's frustrating that like they've really kind of eschewed the characterization, the character growth for kind of like big fighty plot and multiple transformations. One, two, yikes. Yay. Wait, World of Winx, super agree with that one, but World of Winx has been canceled. It's a bummer. Yeah, yeah. I I was okay on World of Winx. I really liked the theme song. At least of the first season. I don't think I've watched the second season. No, no, my Premiere Pro is not responding. No. Come on, come on. No joke, rip wow. World of Winx wasn't as bad as most post for Winx seasons, TBH. Yeah. Like I honestly I had trouble even getting into season 4, mainly because I didn't like Believix. I love the Believix song, not the actual transformation song, but that one like the song that Nick produced with oh the girl from Victorious, that Believix song. But yeah, the only good thing about season 4 I can think of is like the storyline with Aisha, because like that actually was like one of the few moments like that like Winx really let the Winx girls be adults and like have adult problems. Oh wow, I've already been streaming for 2 hours. Avatar Roku. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, my voice, I'm starting to lose my voice. So I think I'm going to call it here. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I'm going to give you guys a minute or two because I know there's a little bit of lag in the stream, but I'm going to give you guys a minute or two to say goodbye, get in your last thoughts, and let me know if there's any fan fictions you want me to read next week, because otherwise, if not, it's just going to be my fan fiction. Bye, Avatar Roku. Bye. Saying goodbye to Avatar Roku. Scan Enchantix. Yes. Season 4 is garbage. Peace. Oh my god.